Good morning, everyone. Brian here with BMK Retro Gaming. This morning I have a review for you guys of the IntelliVision home video game console line original library game, Pinball. Now, it was developed in 1983 by Mattel, and well, pinball machines have a pretty big history in arcades. They actually predated home video, they actually predated arcade cabinets by at least some time. Not necessarily a huge amount of time, but they were there. And they would oftentimes end up sharing space with arcade cabinets over time. So shouldn't be a big surprise that with both home computers and home video game consoles later on, that the vast majority in their original libraries would have at least one or so pinball games developed as a video pinball or video game pinball simulation. Now, whether these would be successful or not was largely dependent upon whether they could get simulating the gameplay physics and gameplay mechanics correct. Some did very good at this, some did more mediocre, and some actually did very bad. Though it probably would depend to a large degree on the capabilities of the particular hardware being utilized. Some have an easier time drawing the various angles and directions a pinball can go in and rendering those to a screen than others do. Some, like, say, perhaps the Fairchild Channel F and the Magnavox Odyssey 2 in the second generation, would probably have not been able to do it, or couldn't. I don't know if they managed to somehow or not, but well, it was definitely one of those things you weren't seeing in the first generation of home video game consoles and games. And second generation, the very early part, probably not. But by the time you got around to things like the Atari VCS 2600 and the IntelliVision, well, we're talking about consoles in that regard which can do it. Along with, say, the Commodore 64, Atari 8-bit computer line, all that. Anyway, one of the interesting things about it is that, pinball makes sense because it's a game genre that's been around forever, and pretty much everybody I know of enjoys a good game of pinball. I'm not the most avid or frequent pinball player, but even I enjoy a good game of pinball on occasion. Video pinball, particularly because, well, I'm more into home video game consoles than I ever was into the arcade cabinets necessarily, and I enjoy things being simulated. Maybe that's a bit weird, but to each their own. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get us going on that review with Pinball for the IntelliVision home video game console line. Like I said, it was developed by Mattel in 1983, and since this would have been as the North American market and industry crash for the video games market in 83 would have been probably gearing up, that probably was not the most fortuitous time. That would have been like right on the precipice before they would have gone from being, with everything in television being under Mattel, to it wouldn't be very much longer before they would be under INTV Corp. So anyway, they did a pretty good job with this one. It does have a few minor, well, not a few, but like at least one minor thing it's not very perfect about it, but other than that, it's a pretty good simulation. Anyway, I don't have a physical copy, so I'm going to set us up to play it on my At Games IntelliVision flashback, and we'll take a look at some gameplay. Okay, so here we go. Go ahead and reset this up so you guys can see what it looks like coming up. Okay, Pinball 1981 Well, it's supposed to be 83, but I guess it was got started in 81 and released 83. I don't know, but anyway, let's go ahead and check out how this goes. Okay, controls are pretty simple. Both your side fire buttons control your flippers. The top ones will do them all, and the bottom ones will just do one side. And then the same thing with all of your buttons along how do you say along the corresponding sides of the keypad of the controller, which is kind of convenient because the side buttons can get a bit inconvenient after a bit. Then you can also bump the cabinet by pressing up. So you'll get a bad tilt if you decide to do too much of that. And then you just press down on the disc and to get the ball rolling. Oop, missed one. Okay. Oh no. One thing you have to hate about pinball is you have only so much control about it. Beyond your paddles or flippers there, you don't have much you can do to save a ball. It will rob you of a ball many times over. As such, okay, let's try again real quick. That gave me that easy. Okay, now that was just cheap. So was that. The sounds are pretty nice. I mean, mind you of a pinball cabinet, pinball machine, I mean, in most regards. That's one of the few things I've seen is actually complaints, some as in his own video, my buddy Phil, the No Swear Gamer, has made a note of too. Unfortunately, the paddles in this game, the flippers can be kind of sluggish. In other words, they don't always respond well. Yeah, I'm not going to let you get me that easy. Unfortunately, there's only one difficulty here, so I can't make it any easier. You've got to be freaking kidding me. That's just too daggum cheap. If you get both of those two top things up there, you will end up, that are kind of V-shaped, you'll end up getting a white cup opened up, which if you get that will take you to the second level of play. And there are 3 of them, even though there's no way at this rate I'm going to be able to show off all 3. Could be a little bit of a bumper there to help me out. There's that cup, and that's how you would get up to your next level of play if you can make it. Darn. Lost that ball, and I've got 2 to go, so. Anyway, came almost to the point of getting up to the next one, but I guess that can be a tough thing to accomplish here. Okay, now, there's no way I'm going to be able to show you guys. There's 2 other levels of play here. Beyond this one you can get to. But I learned from one of my other preferred YouTubers, my buddy Willie, with his channel Arcade USA, watching his video, give it a little time to go into the demo or attract mode, and it actually shows it off on its own. So I'll let you guys see that way. Okay, here's what's the third level, the blue one, which you reach on the second one, the red one. There's two big bumpers to hit on the, to open up the white cup on the red one. The interesting thing about these is, you won't lose a ball and thus a life all that easily just by hitting a sink. You're just going to be sent back down to the lower level until you get back to the green level 1. And here's red, which is the second level. These two bumpers up here are what you have to hit both up to get up to get the cup opened up for the next level. And it basically just spells out pinball up there. There's the cup, which will send it back up to the blue level. At least it has this kind of demo or track mode, so I can show this to you guys without having to be capable of playing well enough to get there. So that probably wasn't going to happen. It's a pretty active and noisy and all flashy game, like you'd expect a physical pinball cabinet to be. They're usually among the louder and more noticeable games that you would be at least hearing, if not seeing, once you walked into an arcade back in the day. And back down to red level. Which is the second level again. Said that's one bumper. You hit one more and open himself back up to going back up to level 3, the blue one. Yep. And back down to level 1. Wonder how long this demo lasts for. Okay. Well, that's enough gameplay, so I think you guys get the idea with that. Okay, so that was Pinball. 1983, or according to that, 1981, 1983, whichever. Original library game for the IntelliVision home video game console line. As I said, might have kind of sluggish paddle controls on it, or flippers. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent simulation. I enjoy it. I'm just happen to stink at it too. Again, I enjoy doing videos to upload for you guys and for my channel, and doing these reviews and all, but again, I've never really said that I was all that terribly good at playing the games. Some yes, many no. It's one of those things, how do you say? Being gamer, retro gamer, you probably will enjoy it more if you happen to be pretty good at it, but at the same time, For many, just the challenge, even without getting there, is enough to keep drawing your attention back. And that tends to be the case with me. Anyway, I have a few preferred YouTubers to share recommendations and links for on this one. Pardon me while I grab the list, as I forgot to do that earlier. Okay. That's going to be, darn, I didn't write them down for this one yet. Forgot. Okay, well, I know Phil the No Swear Gamer is in there. Willie with Arcade USA. High Retro Game Lord. IntelliVision Dude. And I believe Brian Puddin with Brian's Man Cave all have nice videos on this one. So I will go... That's probably out of order, but I will go ahead and list them in order once I get to it. And they will be... The links will be in the same order as they are listed, as usual. So I will leave those so you guys can check them out if you like. Excuse me. And if you enjoy my channel's content, please like, share, and subscribe. And please don't hesitate to leave any questions, comments, or suggestions down in the comments section below. You guys take care, have a nice morning, and I will see you again in my next video.